Alright you guys, welcome back to another U150 video. Today we're going to be looking at a round 1 match from the 2018 tournament. It's going to be featuring Aurorus versus, sorry, not a round 1 match, a losers bracket match between Aurorus and Incineroar. Kind of an interesting little pairing, I suppose. Incineroar losing its first match to what is it? Toolbox, and Aurorus losing it to Mega Rayquaza, Raikou, Entei. Now, on paper, you would think that like Aurorus has the advantage, right? Because Aurorus has weakness on Incineroar. It also Incineroar also pretty much only attacks with evolved Pokemon, and Aurorus is going to just shut that down. But the other thing you have to remember is that Aurorus does take a little bit to set up. Incineroar is kind of just a faster deck altogether. Yeah, we'll see how this kind of works out here. I remember this match being somewhat interesting. 3 mulligans off the bat is not a great way for Aurorus to start. But if you notice the timestamp, it is a longer game, what, 23-minute game or something like that. So it does get interesting, even though if you look at the challenge bracket, the score is maybe not necessarily that close, but it is. It does take a little bit of a time. So we'll see here. Grady finally gets to draw his 3 mulligan cards, and I'm still sitting over here searching for a start. I'm gonna quickly take a drink of my caffeinated beverage, because once again I am staying up far past my bedtime to get you some great U150 content. You know us over here at Under Spokane. We aim to please. So let's see what happens. Alright, so we're finally into the game. Porygon start versus the Spiritomb start. Spiritomb never great, and it's just going to be a draw pass for the Porygon. Spiritomb will just go straight into the Baltoy, and then a Rocket's admin hitting the field with that item lock. So if Aurorus can't draw a supporter here, or if I can't draw a supporter rather, I don't think I drew enough cards there. 1, 2, 3. Nope, that is okay. So at least I got Spiritomb energy off of the what is it called? The Rocket's admin. So at least I can start setting up. I'll get the Spiritomb and the Baltoy, and then I actually don't even know what to go after that. Maybe another Porygon, perhaps. Maybe even actually that's hard. That's a hard decision. Just because, yeah. See, there's me like eyeing the Manaphy. Purely just because like I want to get the. I would go bat. Okay, that makes sense. Purely because I want to go the route of, I need a place to bench the Mysterious Fossil or Fossil Trainer into the not Aurorus. What is it? Aloma? I don't even. I wish I knew. Let me check. I'm gonna check so I don't seem like an idiot, even though I already am. Aurorus, what do you evolve from? Amora. Yeah, I was close. Amora? Okay. But anyways, yeah, trying to get that Frost Wall set up, I need to use Amora. Did I take back the Zubat while I wasn't looking? I think I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I totally took back the Zubat while I wasn't looking. Man, taking a while. Spiritomb. So our baby's searching for the Claydol. Oh no, I'm baby searching for the Lapras actually, and Spiritombing into the Claydol. Great, just go ahead and get set up here. Cynthia hits the field. He's probably going to Darkness Grace up into the Incineroar next turn, as long as he doesn't draw it. But if he draws it, then whatever. He can just Claydol it back down. And so here is a Spiritomb into the. Oh nope. Maybe, yeah, okay, now it is. Okay, there's a Spiritomb into the Incineroar. Most likely. And here's me responding with a Lapras. Maybe for Colress? Oh no, maybe it is going to be the Fossil Researcher. Yeah, it will be the Fossil Researcher to get out the double Amora. Skyfield definitely helping me out there. So I don't have to get 1, I can get 2 out. So almost guaranteeing if he kills one, I can
bring one back up, so that's nice. Cosmic Power coming back up, and we'll go into the Porygon 2, saving the Aurorus so that he can't kill it, I suppose. I don't know, I probably would have gotten Aurorus there, but Porygon 2 also important to get set up a little further. The Pyroar is really, really scary. That Pyroar is a good card. Makes Fire decks just actually kind of busted to put that 1/1 Pyroar line in, or even a 1/1 Pyroar line in. Always just kind of threatening. Mallow definitely going to be grabbing probably I would say at least it doesn't have double supporter here, so he can't grab Guzma. Hard telling what he'll grab with this Mallow. Maybe a Goop, so that he can get at least one turn off of Retreat, Incineroar, Goop, so that's harder for me to hit the Aurorus. He also might be grabbing actually Pyroar. Pyroar so that I can get my Atom Lock out of the active, yep. So there he will be Flare Commanding, most likely on Mora. I couldn't imagine. Nope, he is going to go for the Claydol instead. So the Claydol, let's see, 20, 40, 60, 70. He's still out of reach of a knockout, but he does have an Ultra Ball, Computer Search, and he'll be able to knock it out. We can get the Volcanion, we'll bench that. Grabbing the Litten as well. So definitely going to get a knockout here. Wasn't worried about searching for cards, just needed to get me out of the active as well. And there's the Goop we talked about. So now we are, the Aurorus is in a tricky situation. Aurorus is going to need to hit a lot of stuff here on the Goop lock. So there's a Fossil Excavator is going to search for the Aurorus. If there's an Aqua Patch DC in that hand, then that's going to be that much better, but nope, it's going to be a Retreat, Upper Energy, Switch. Ooh, we got it off. There it is. I had it in hand. So it will be the 100 damage and can't be hurt by Evolved Pokemon next turn. 160 HP. Problem is that the one thing I didn't talk about in the opening is that the Pyroar is a really good way for this deck to get around it. Because he'll be able to Flare Command Guzma up the Aurorus, and as long as he can hit the enough damage to knock it out, like, just super scary, right? So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 130 right now. Choice Band would do it. I think that's what Grady's talking about right now is, do we need just a Choice Band, a Muscle Band, and a Bench Pokemon would do it. Bench Fire Pokemon, rather. But here's the Ooks. Maybe he's eyeballing the Ooksy. A Choice Band just does it, right? A Choice Band Energy Guzma will do it. Let's see what Grady can draw into, or not even a Guzma, just like a Lysander or Gust of Wind, that sort of thing. That Junk Arm is scary. I forgot what's in that discard Poblet. It's probably something good. Let's see. Maybe it's in. Nope, it's a swoop. So yeah, it swoops the Uxie off for the Feebas here. And Misty's Wrath, just digging through this deck, just needs a way, just needs a Fire Energy and a way to bring up the Aurorus again. And then a damage modifier. So it's not out of the question to knock it out. And at the very least, he'll be able to get, if he can get one Fire Energy, you can at least take the Porygon 2. So scoop up to Thin, it looks like. And there's a Colress. So that's a Colress for 8, 5, 13. Needing to hit that Gust of Wind. If you can hit Gust of Wind damage modifier, it will really just put me in a horrible position. It's still drawing a whole bunch of cards, 13 cards off the top. Scoop up to Thin on the, let's see, so there's a Floatstone down. Maybe it's not, maybe it will just be a Flare Command and knock out something on the bench. And there's a Dow's Machine, most likely he is eyeballing the Misty's Wrath, yep, it will be another Misty's Wrath. Devo Spray is not going to do a whole lot of good, that's the only card I saw off the top. But like I said, at the very least, he's gonna. There's a Muscle Band. I see the Muscle Band in there. So if he got the Gust of Wind off it, which it didn't look like it, because he would have just grabbed it right away, probably. So let's see. Evo Soda is gonna find what, the middle one? Yep, Torracat. And Greedy might be looking. The Muscle Baron will go to the bench, and he's going to Flare Command the Porygon 2 for a knockout. One of the worst parts about the Aurorus build that we have is the fact that it doesn't play any damage modifiers. And it needs, I think it kind of needs that. I think the 160 HP tank strat is a little bit worse than just like going for damage, and I think it needed that more than anything. But the Slux Ball maybe grabs Uxie. Maybe I don't have Uxie in the deck. Maybe that's why it's taking so long. I think it would just be for an Uxie, right? Yeah, there we go. No support Pokemon on the field. One thing you can kind of do with Aurorus is if you can get enough scoop up effects going, right? If they can't knock out Aurorus, then there's no way for them to like double Lysander, double Flare Command, that sort of thing. The swoop is taking a long time to make this decision. I thought you just grab like a Porygon or something, right? Yeah, there you go. That's what you would just grab there. Hopefully get the Porygon 2 back out of the discard pile. And here's a Mallow. So I do have Mallow Uxie, but like I said, I don't think the deck plays damage modifiers because the goal of this specific build is to tank instead of attack. And you play bats for the damage modifiers. So I don't think there's a way that I can get necessarily the bats out this turn. I could at least try to. Go for something like find a Zubat Broken Time Space on the top and Uxie. Maybe that's what I go for, or maybe I'm going for Oak. So here's the Uxie. Let's see what we found. Energy. Oh, we're going actually for the second attack. So we're going to say, hey, screw everything else. I don't think you can attack me. There's a Hard Charm on here. Maybe even the other Aurorus, which I think I prized. That would have been nice to have. Yeah, so we're going to grab the Manaphy instead. Other Aurorus would have been actually really big there. And a Goop. So we'll use the second attack, take 2 prizes, tying up the game. And Grady's got to find a way to respond to that under Goop Lock. So, I think he's counting my Pokemon, probably setting up an Oricorio play. That would be the best response to this. Be able to take the... he'd probably be able to take the Porygon with the Oricorio, because there's at least the... Oh yeah, definitely actually, because there's the 2-2 support lines in there of Claydol and Porygon too. So, well, there is a Profane Punch, Energy Attach, and a Blacksmith. So he just get the 3 energies, and it looks like he'll get the Respond kill, right? Because I think it's 170. So he needs just a Field Blower. Super Rod coming, Rescue Stretcher coming, just shuffling a whole bunch of stuff back in. But still no support Pokemon on my side of the field. I think I only got like 1 or 2 cards in my hand. I had to burn a lot to try to get that. There's like 3 cards in there. I can't remember if this does knock it out. I think it does. Yeah, it does. What does that attack do again? Incineroar. 180. Yeah, so it does enough through the Hard Charm. Really going to be hard to get back. I need to get a Rescue Energy, or a way to bring back the Pokemon, a way to switch, a way, it's just going to be a lot to attack again. I can attack with Lapras if I have enough stuff, but again, there's no damage modifiers in this deck. Something that I think would definitely swing this matchup a little bit, because then you can start attacking with your other water Pokemon. There's just not a lot of Pokemon that do enough damage, and especially with no support Pokemon on the side of the field, it's hard to get this back out. So it looks like it's just going to be a Guzma stall, and I was like, oh, there's a Floatstone there. So I'm going to grab Feebas, attach, and it's just going to be 20 damage into the Mysterious Fossil, and hopefully, he's got no energy on his side of the field, right? So like being able to Flare Command is rough. But if he just hits another Blacksmith again, then it should just snowball out of control from there. You would imagine, at least. So I think I'm saying to him, like, that's really all you need is these 2 out, because you can just constantly be bringing stuff around. Maybe that's what I'm saying to him here. But no, he's just attaching to Volcanion, and it's going to be 40 damage on a Mysterious Fossil. And here's just showing the power of Incineroar and the fact that, like, yes, the Incineroar GX went down kind of early, but the other Incineroar is just as good. And here's going to be 40 damage accelerating 2 fire energies. I was like, dude, why don't you just put it on the Incineroar? Like, that seems like the smartest thing, but... So it's going to be a draw, and it might actually just be another pass back. It's going to be an energy move, so he can't flare command and attach. Pokemon Center and a pass. Oh, and there's a Rough Seas, no cards in hand. Don't have to worry about that Mystery Grady in full control here. You can just probably spiral this out of control. Reading Burning Energy and saying, yeah, Burning Energy will work for the Pyroar, but it won't stay on. Right? Because Pyroar just says you just got a Fire Energy, but it will get discarded still. It'd be really good if the Burning Energy stayed on when you discarded it. Looks like he's Pal Padding Black and a Blacksmith. Or it might be actually Versus Seeker. Nope, he's Pal Padding Blacksmith and trump card back in. Oh, we had an issue with the prizes there. Saying that, yo, you remember that Aurorus was 2 prizes. So here's a Flare Command, another 40 damage onto the, and I top decked a Misty's Wrath to hopefully get out of this. Checking the prizes yet again. Looks like I prized some serious stuff here. Gonna need at least a way to, I want to retreat, but the problem is that, like, you can just bring the Porygon right back up. It's just showing the power of Pyroar. And able to get an N off of it. Claydol is still a thing. Decided not to attach. Maybe I'm thinking hit some Aqua Patches or something. So, still not a lot of great stuff there. Super energy removal to hopefully prevent him from doing some stuff. There's a Fluffy Berry. We go right back into the Mysterious Fossil again. He will just be able to Flare Command and attack with a Volcanion. But, I mean, this game's all over at this point. I'm doing my due diligence to stall the game out, but that Flare Command Pyroar is just going to be doing work. So, make him at least burn the energy off, pun intended. And there's a Field Blower plus an N. Still just not a whole lot going on. Looks like I'm going to need a way to recover something, right? I think getting the Aurorus back up is super important, right? That's what I'm going to need to hit here. I need a way to get that Aurorus back out. But just not finding it at all, not finding a lot, and it's really hard with no support Pokemon. Shows you how important getting or keeping Claydol and Porygon on the field is. Without those decks just sputter out, it's super important. Like, if you can kill your opponent's Claydol and they don't have a retaliation for your attacker, you just snowball from there, right? And this is a perfect example of that. So, looks like Grady Flare Commanding. Put the card back on top of my deck. Is he determining? Is he taking back something? Oh, so he's attaching from hand to his active and Flare Commanding something else instead. That makes sense. That way I can't Rough Seize it and just kind of stay in the active, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I need the Aurorus back here, which looks like I get a Amora. There's the Aurorus. And another Water Energy. Rescue Stretcher. Evolve into the other Aurorus and Chorus. So there was a thing that I could have done there, I suppose, where I could have super rotted back in the Claydol and Rescue Stretcher the Baltor. That might have been a better solution there. But we'll see what I'm going for here. I'm going to need a trump card. There's a Oricorio in my hand. I don't think Greedy's got a lot of Pokemon in his discard pile. So attach to that Aurora, say, hey, you can take that. Here's another Mysterious Fossil. This might just be another pass, which it will be. Could have attached and tried to paralyze, I suppose, but N comes down. Definitely definitely will be taking, he's going to take another prize here, going on 2 prizes. Maybe I can get the Aurorus off of this, maybe get that going. But another energy onto the Volcanion, that's really going to be his only attacker against, really going to be his only attacker against Aurorus if it ever comes back out. Looks like he's flare commanding another Amora, and he's going to knock it out with a second attack. So, bringing up Lapras signals that I probably have somewhere to retreat it. Why would I ever promote that otherwise, right? So, oh, here's a teammate. So yeah, this is going to go for an Evolution DCE most likely. Yep, Evolution DCE, then there's the Floatstone. But I'm going to need a trump card, because Oricorio at this point is just terrifying. And it looks like I take a Gust of Wind onto the Ninetales and take a knockout. Saying that, okay, I don't think... Oh no, sorry, Gust of Wind on the Victini. And saying, hey dude, you can't actually knock me out. But here's a Blacksmith going to the Pyro most likely, yep, and saying I'm just going to take 2 knockouts on your bench Pokemon. Whoa. Oh, sorry, yeah, so there was a Gust of Wind Flare Command. Like I said earlier, he was able to Gust my Aurorus back down to the bench and then Flare Command it back out to reset the condition and just take a knockout. And at this point, with Grady with 1 or 2 prizes left, I think it looks like I'm counting Pokemon here for a possible Oricorio play. But at this point, it's over. Like I said, it was very, very snowbally sort of game. And Flare Command can deal with Aurorus super well. I don't think there's anything I can realistically do here. 1 Oricorio just ruins the game. Looks like I have an Oricorio. And I was hoping that there was enough Pokemon on his side of the field to possibly take the, if I could take the Pyroar, right, if I could knock that out. A situation where if he had 10 Pokemon in his discard instead of taking the Victini, taking the Ninetales with the Aurorus knockout last turn would have been better, but maybe not. So, super routing back in 3 energies to hopefully hit an energy so I can Oricorio something. And let's see how many I have in there. I'm about to find out. There's going to be a level ball for the Zubat. I think Grady's probably just sitting on game at this point. This looks like 7 is all I have. And there's an attach for turn. And there's the Guzma using his Volcanion to attack. So yep, that's it. Incineroar beats Aurorus. Because of that Flare Command doing absolute work. Even with weakness, Flare Command showing how powerful it is. Yep, if you have any questions about the game, if you had fun, let us know. If not, we will see you next time.